This is the guide you want if you're trying to hunt faster with the Insect Glaive. I've put about 400 plus hours into this weapon and analyzed gameplay from multiple speedrunners to break down exactly what you need to do to maximize your damage, cut hunt times, and honestly just have more fun playing the Insect Glaive. Make sure you stick around until the end, because I also share a few extra tips and tricks for when playing the Insect Glaive. Let's get into it. Pre-title update 4 introduced a few major changes to the Insect Glaive, and together they completely change how you should be playing this weapon. First, you can now chain directly into descending slash using short input buttons, and your charge level increased based on the attacks you do beforehand. With proper timing, you can input triangle plus circle on PlayStation, or Y plus B on Xbox, or left and right click on the PC to flow directly in descending slash. Second, sidestep slash and sidestep slash combo both received a raw damage buff. And once you have all 3 axe ranks, your attack speed is faster. This massively increases your grounded DPS. Third, you no longer get knocked back, and you gain hyper armor when you're starting your rising spiral slash, which means you can actually use it as a defensive option without wasting your extracts anymore because you mistimed the rising spiral slash and got hit by the monster. Fourth, you now can also have your strong descending thrust and transition over in a rising spiral slash, and that makes sense with the changes they made to the input. All these changes make the Insect Glaive feel a lot smoother, no more claw hands and higher damage. To be completely honest, even more fun to play. Because of these changes, we also now have a new optimal damage rotation. Doesn't mean that the old one is bad, but this one is just slightly faster with more DPS. So right now, what you'll be aiming for the highest DPS on the ground is side slash combo, and then going in towards your descending slash, pressing Y and B, or triangle circle on PlayStation. This loop is faster than the older loop, which is 3 times Y and then going towards descending slash. And we're also now taking advantage of the sidestep slash and side slash combo that were buffed in Title Update 4. Another addition in Title Update 4 is that we don't have to charge our Insect Glaive now by holding B or triangle or right click. You now charge your Insect Glaive by doing at least 2 attacks into the rotation, which basically negates the need to ever holding B or triangle or right click. Once you practice this and have your damage rotation down, your hunt times will already increase with the Insect Glaive. But if you really want to have faster hunt times, it boils down to just 3 things in my honest opinion: Insect Management, offsets, and positioning. Master these 3 things and your hunts immediately will become cleaner and faster.
That way. Straight on to the end.
Kinsect Management. Kinsect Management is the foundation of both your damage and your defensive bonuses, so getting your extracts as fast as possible is one of the biggest factors to achieving faster hunt times. When looking at speedrunners, it always feels that they never are without extracts. And that's just because they mastered Kinsect Management. The fastest and most reliable way when starting to getting your extracts is by charging your Kinsect and firing it directly at the monster. If you have a Kinsect with Harvest Boost, you can often get all 3 extracts in one single well-timed shot. Another important method is understanding that your first and third attacks in focus mode automatically send out your Kinsect. When looking at speedrunners, an extract on the place you're aiming at. This means with proper aiming and when to attack, you can regain extracts quite naturally while dealing damage. This is why in most of the fights you have your focus mode on, just to get your extracts back as efficiently as possible. That said, it's important to not stay locked in focus mode all the time. Outside of focus mode, you are more mobile to reposition. So whenever you're moving to a new opening, learn to toggle focus mode off, and when you are where you want to be, turn it back on, ready to attack, and making sure that your Kinsect getting you new extracts. Now let's talk about Rising Spiral Slash, because this move ties everything together. Rising Spiral Slash is one of the highest damaging attacks in the game, and while it consumes your extracts, it can also reveal them, depending on where you initiate the move. Think of it like real estate. Location, location, location. With proper positioning, Rising Spiral Slash can deal massive damage and set you up to immediately get your extracts back. Thanks to free title update 4, timing matters more than ever here, because Rising Spiral Slash now also grants hyper armor, allowing you to mitigate damage and stay aggressive instead of getting knocked out of the animation. Ideally, you want to initiate Rising Spiral Slash under the monster, aiming towards the torso or the head. This gives you the highest damage potential, as the Kinsect can hit the monster up to 9 times, and the best chance with a Kinsect, get multiple extracts in one go. It won't always give you all three, but even if it partially refills, it's enough to allow you to keep the pressure going and avoid downtime damage. If you miss your extracts refill or you need them back immediately, look for a wound and use Focus Strike. A Focus Strike on a wound will instantly replenish all extracts. So treat this as a recovery tool when your rotation breaks or your timing is off. Otherwise, go for quick attacks in focus mode to replenish your extracts or charge your Kinsect if the situation allows it. At the end of the day, the number one factor in faster Insect Glaive hunt times is understanding how you regain your extract as quickly as possible. The more consistently you chain Rising Spiral Slash into extract recovery and more damage you deal, the faster the hunt becomes. If you're enjoying the guide so far, leaving a like and consider subscribing, and if you really want to help, drop a comment as it goes a long way in helping more people find this video. Let's get into offsets. Man, I always love the feeling of nailing an offset. Starting with free title update 2, Capcom made offset timing a bit more forgiving for the Insect Glaive, thanks to the relaxed offset detection, which makes it easier to trigger offset attacks consistently. If you're watching speedrunners, one thing immediately stands out: their ability to offset monster attacks constantly. Offsetting not only mitigates damage, but in most cases it also leaves the monster in a favorable position to continue dealing damage or quickly recover any missing extracts. The first successful offset will usually cause a stagger, giving you a big opening. After the second or third offset, it won't stagger the monster anymore, but they will still mitigate incoming damage, which keeps you aggressive and in control. The Insect Glaive has two main ways to offset. The first one is the descending slash or your strong descending slash at the correct timing, and the second one is using your strong descending thrust. This option is harder to time since you will need to be airborne, but in most cases you will offset using your strong descending slash. Being able to offset multiple times in a single hunt will drastically improve your hunt times and overall consistency. That brings me to the last point that ties everything together: positioning. Insect Glaive has two main ways to mitigate monster attacks, like we talked about. For the first one, the Rising Spiral Slash, which since free title update 4 gives us hyper armor, and the second one is offsetting. Outside of these two options, your survivability depends almost entirely on positioning, as we do not have any option to guard, and this is the hardest part to teach, because it really requires monster knowledge. If you're newer to the Insect Glaive, the Evade Extender skill can help you a lot to give you more distance on your dodges. And don't underestimate the backward vault. It's an excellent way to create space, avoid damage, and then vaulting back to keep the pressure on the monster. With title update 2.5, backwards vaulting received two important buffs. The invulnerability window, when vaulting backwards, was increased, and the distance gained from backwards vaulting is further extended when using Evade Extender. Knowing the monster and knowing which side you need to be on comes with experience. And this doesn't just apply to the Insect Glaive. Good positioning alone can dramatically reduce your hunt times across the weapon. So don't forget Superman. So when you have your weapon sheatheded and you jump or dodge towards basically the screen, you will be jumping way further than a normal dodge. Basically getting out of dodge, pun intended. So keep that one in mind. Now with that out of the way, let's go into a few extra tips. Here's my first one. Keeping a barrel at your tent lets you hit it during a mount, which instantly gives you a red extract. This is especially helpful if you're running a Kinsect without Harvest Boost, or when you're fighting a monster with small or awkward head hitboxes, that making getting a red extract annoying to get consistently. Looking at you, Utuna, stupid fish. So go into your settings from your camp and just add the barrel to all your camps. Can make your life a lot easier. Let's get to the next one. Traps. Traps are another easy way to cut down your hunt times. Even in Slay Quest, don't sit on your traps. Use them to create free damage windows that let you push your rotation without risk. Running both Shock Trap and Pitfall Trap can be extremely effective, and if you get lucky, your Palico might even drop an additional trap for you. Against 9-star monsters, these extra openings make a huge difference in overall hunt time. So let's get into the next one. Flash and lure bots. I don't go anywhere without them. Flash pods are incredibly useful for getting knockdowns and creating extra damage windows against monsters that are vulnerable to them, and you can use them up to 3 times. Any free openings like that directly translates in faster hunt times. Lures, on the other hand, are absolutely mandatory if you care about speed. They keep the monster locked on you, preventing it from running away and stopping you from losing valuable time, especially in areas like the Scarlet Forest, where the monster fleeing can actually cost you minutes. This becomes even stronger in multiplayer if everybody using lures consistently. With proper lure usage and high damage output, you can even prevent monsters like Lagiagras from retreating to their lair and let you skip an entire phase of the fight, literally shaving minutes of your hunt. Kinsect. When it comes to faster hunt times, your choice here matters more than you think. If your goal is speed, you always want to be running a blunt Kinsect. With a proper timing, a charged Kinsect shot can interrupt monster attacks, giving you yet another way to create damage openings. It's subtle, but used correctly it adds up to real time saved over the course of a hunt. Let's go into some build recommendations for the Insect Glaive. For the Insect Glaive, you're almost always prioritizing Agitator and Weakness Exploit on your armor. Those two skills give you the biggest return for consistent damage. You should always have at least 1 level of burst. More levels are not bad, but they usually lose value compared to Agitator and Weakness Exploit in most builds. Since grounded combat is favored for the Insect Glaive, Maximum Might fits extremely well into our builds. We're also a fan of Counter-Strike, because it rewards you for extra damage when you get hit, which realistically will happen. Just note, an offset attack will also trigger Counter-Strike. Latent Power is another solid option for the Insect Glaive and works well depending on your playstyle. Now, depending on your skill level, it's smart to leave 1 slot decorations open for defensive options. Insect Glaive is a glass cannon, even with fully upgraded Transcendent armor. That's why a lot of pure damage focused meta builds end up being card magnets for newer players. You simply cannot afford to take many hits. Don't be that Insect Glaive player who cards all the time and runs on hunt. So my last tip, and this one is important because this is where I get all my information. If you're looking for Insect Glaive information, the best place, in my honest opinion, is MonsterHunter Wild's Discord. I'll leave a link in the description. There are a ton of very knowledgeable players there who can help with everything from builds and weapons and mechanics of the Insect Glaive. It's easily one of the best resources for the Insect Glaive. And that's gonna be it for this video. If you have tips of your own or anything I didn't cover, let everybody know in the comments below. I hope you learned something new about the Insect Glaive and hope it helps you cut down your hunt times. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay sharp and happy hunting.